Welcome back to another live and amplified indie fusion podcast. I'm your host, Tom Quiet, and we're back at it again with another amazing podcast. We are smack dab in the middle of our pancreatic cancer fundraiser, and we got our next guest with us. We got Kirstie Kraus. How's it going today?
It is going fabulous, and I am so excited to be a part of this. This is something that was happened in my family to my literally patriarch of my family, and there isn't solutions for cancer like this, and I really hope that one day there can be.
Mm-hmm. Same here. Same here. I lost it to my mother passed away in 2021, and so that's when we started this whole thing. So
Yeah, I love that. Thanks for
but
having me, though.
yeah, I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to chat. It's been a while. I feel like we've had more chances to try and meet in person than we actually have. And it's like, because I think we were trying to get together at CMA Fest and then schedules got mixed up there. And then were we trying to get together at CRS, or were you not around for CRS?
I didn't make CRS. So CRS keeps changing their dates. And I think it works out next year because they like changed it back again.
Yeah.
But the past 1 or 2 years, I haven't been able to make it because of the date change. So yeah, I'm really excited to be back. And CRS is always an extremely fun time. So it's going to be a good time. It's like a reunion.
Oh, it is. It really is. I feel like I go through several reunions every year, and it's just like, you know what? I don't hate it. I'm there for it. And plus CRS is so convenient across the board because it's like, it's all in one place, where CMA Fest, you're kind of going all over the place. And yeah.
Yeah. So. And I feel like we just spoke, even though we didn't, because I was watching the interview that you did with Danny Spyro, upcoming country artist, and just has that red dirt sound. So I was watching that. So I feel like we spoke, but now it's our time to connect. So this is good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to chat. It's been well over a year since we've had you on last. I was trying to figure that one out earlier, but it was just like, that math is way too hard. So, but excited to sit down and chat. How's your tour around Texas been?
So far, it has been wonderful. Like, the amount of people I've gotten to meet in person, or people that said they have seen me before, only like briefly, for a couple of songs. So now they get to see like the full show, and they're excited, which makes me that much more excited. And people are handing us merch. It's great. Yeah. We just did a radio interview, so we keep getting new T-shirts to wear, and I'm so here for that. But yeah, everything's been going good. We checked out the Margaritaville in Lake Conroe.
Yeah, there you go.
That place was really fun. They did fireworks right when we were done, and then we did a dinner with other media outlets, and they were changing up their menu for the first time in 5 years. So we got the full treatment of like, here's this drink, here's this food, try it, taste it. And I was like, yes, please. Sounds great.
Let's do it. Nice.
So it's been really good so far.
And how long have you've been in Texas for pretty much the entire month of November already, right?
Well, we got in, I believe we left on like the 13th. So yeah, it's been about 5 days, and then we leave out on that Sunday is when we drive, the 24th. So kind of just right before that week of Thanksgiving, and we'll stop in Bossier, Louisiana for Margaritaville, and then we'll make our way to Nashville, kind of just in time to get settled before Thanksgiving.
For sure. It sounds like you just need to do a Margaritaville tour, like figure that one out. And
I'm liking this. If we can, I mean, if we add these two good ones this time, then let's just like keep adding ones, because then I get to play, Lime Time and Shell Bent and all, Beaches Be Crazy, like all the songs in that would fit in that category. I get to play, and that makes me very happy.
That's cool. I dig it. It's, I didn't realize how many Margaritavilles there were. And then I saw an advertisement for the one in Texas, and I'm like, huh, Okay. I didn't know there was one here. I thought it was like strictly a Florida thing. And
Yeah, and apparently they're like down in the islands, and
yeah,
and I'm like, I want to go play those too.
yeah.
So I don't know the number, and I'm sure Crystal knows, being a DJ on Radio Margaritaville at this point. She probably knows facts like that, but
Hmm.
there's a lot of them like
Hmm.
everywhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how's your music been going? I know you released been busy. We'll say that much. So
Yes. I was just messaging people the other day, thanking them because, Beaches Be Crazy has gotten like 1,000 streams, and or not streams, like plays
mm,
on these radio stations. And so I was messaging them and being like, thank you so much for like loving on that song. And Dabba I was able to make my way in WSM and be on the radio there, and then just being at the Opry for the Josie, the
mm,
largest independent music awards. I was able to accept an award in the Circle for Artist of the Year,
mm,
female country, and so that was like a moment I will absolutely never forget. Like that
mm,
was so special. And I had my mom and my aunt there, and Ty Smith was there, and Debbie and Roger were there, like other like OG thirsties is my what I call my fans.
mhm.
And they were there. They wanted to make their way to Nashville from Wisconsin just to be there, just in case I won. So I'm really glad I did, because it was like I came up there and immediately was just like hugging everyone. It was like, we did this. We did
Nice.
this. Yeah. So things on the music front has been going well, and I am have a couple of songs in the hopper.
Nice. What can you share about that?
Okay, I can share a couple of things. Well, the song that is coming out is a duet with Mark Mulch, and I
Mm,
did a duet with him for "Tied Down,"
nice.
which that song just won Radio Trop Rock Song of the Year. It's the most requested song on that Trop Rock radio station,
Mm,
and so that was really cool to receive that in Gulf Shores right before the
mm.
Josie Music Awards. And we decided we're going to team up again, and we're doing a parody on Winter Wonderland.
Okay.
So
Nice. I
that's what
love
I can share. It's so fun, and just our two voices together, and we'll have a little video on YouTube coming out, and it's gonna be really fun to be able to share that, just because the little lyric changes to make it more tropical.
it. Yeah.
And I'm working on mixing right now in parts on a song called Largo, which
Okay.
is, I'm on a duet train apparently. I'm just loving it. So I have a duet with Mike Nash that we got to perform for the first time in Gulf Shores.
Nice.
And with his band, he had me up on the main stage. So I was like, this is way cool. And that video will be coming out on YouTube too. But I'm just working on the mix. I'm being picky about it.
Nice. Hey, you know what though? Be picky. Do your thing. You
Yes.
know? Yeah.
I mean that is your product,
Hmm.
like kind of if someone was selling hairspray, like that would be, that's what they have to stand on. And to me, that's why I'm here, is for the music. And
Hmm.
so I'm gonna take my time with that. I know he wanted it done by the end of the year, but I was like, it might not be, and that's okay, because I'd rather, like, if it came out, I want it to be everything that it needs to be. But I
Yeah.
really, it's a story song. It's about a young couple that meets in Key Largo on spring break, and then falls in
Nice.
love and goes back to Key Largo and rekindles the flame again to be even brighter,
Hmm.
and then they decide to have a happy ending and stay there,
Nice.
just live
That's
there.
that's cool. That's very cool. It's having driven through Key Largo. That's a lot of
Yes.
times. You know that
And
that's very cool.
I'll be in that area in February, so that would be really cool if that came out around, it's looking like around that time. So like
Hmm.
that'd be cool if that lined up. But I
Nice.
absolutely love the Florida Keys. I was born in Florida,
Hmm.
and I moved back to Wisconsin in the Midwest like 2 weeks later. So I had
Yeah.
no say. But I think that's why Florida calls me a lot.
Yeah. You know, I've often said that if I like, I've lived in Florida off and on for the last 10 years or so, or since
Oh, really?
2000. Yeah, just since honestly, since 2009, when I went away to SIU, where I went to school.
Okay.
My parents moved down to Florida, and I lived in Orlando doing an internship. And then they moved down to Florida. So that summer I was living with them. And then I came back, and then I moved to Tallahassee, and then I moved to Orlando again, so it just
Okay,
kind of,
that's cool.
yeah.
So you definitely went to Disney World. You did your fair share of.
Oh, I was in Disney World every day for about 6 months straight.
I love that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I
I,
so that's where your internship was, or you
yeah.
just were
No,
that
I
obsessed?
interned at Disney. So yeah.
Jealous. I'm so
Yeah.
jealous. I that place is, I mean, it is magical.
Hmm.
And we went like 2 years ago,
Hmm.
and got the opportunity to go with somebody who worked there.
Hmm.
So I felt like we had some VIP experience, because otherwise you have to like pay attention to like do the planning and figure
Hmm.
out things but when you go with like an ultimate tour guide, like someone who knows all the things, we could just relax and take it all in. And he was like on his phone like, oh yep, we're gonna be at this roller coaster in this time, and we're
Yeah.
like, great. Sounds wonderful.
Right. See, when I worked there, it was all, they didn't have all the fancy gadgets that they have now. It was all still very much paper tickets and all that
Yeah,
stuff. So it was just like, okay, like you had to like really know some
your
people
stuff.
to,
Yeah,
yeah. So
right. That's super cool.
yeah, but no, it's actually kind of funny. When I got my internship there, I hadn't been to Disney World in probably about 15 years. Like I went
Uh,
once, maybe twice when I was a kid, but
yeah.
since then I hadn't been. And so going there was just like a complete shell shock because all I knew was the Magic Kingdom. I didn't know any of the other stuff existed.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That's funny. I did the same thing. I was like 8 and 10, or around those
yeah.
ages. And I remember like seeing the people that drew for
Hmm.
Toy Story. And at the time, like that was the big thing. They were drawing, they were showing the drawings for Toy Story. And at the time in school, I was a drawer. Like I was very creative, obviously like musically, but like I expressed myself in art, and I had to like have separate meetings with the art teachers, and they would give me like homework, and it was a whole thing. So like it was just really cool. I remember meeting all the princesses, and I remember watching them draw for Toy Story.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's very cool. It's I didn't get any cool experiences like that, but I got some cool experiences
Oh yeah.
nonetheless. So,
Place is
um,
awesome.
yeah. So you said you're in Texas for about another week or so.
Yeah, for another week, we have tonight, we have no more, we don't have a show
Mm-hmm.
tonight, so we're making our way to Austin, and our next show will be in Austin. And it's all for the Parrot Head clubs.
Mm-hmm.
This show's coming up. We play for 3 Parrot Head clubs, and
Nice.
I see them like commenting, because other like the Houston Parrot Head clubs are just posting about us, and I see them chiming in and being like, "We're gonna see them next Thursday," or
Nice.
so it's excited to see the buzz literally happening right before your eyes, because there's a lot of people down here that I have not been able to like physically meet yet,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe we don't know of each other, and I really do feel like this tour has is going to make that obviously change,
Yeah.
and it's just a huge difference. So that makes me really happy. I
Nice.
like Texas.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why I've been here 5 years and haven't left yet. So,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
It's been pretty good weather. It's raining today, but obviously there's a Buc-ee's like every single stop, that feels
Right.
like. And what is it? HEB. Like we have
Yep.
to
Oh,
check out HEB yet.
you
Is
do.
That's what we keep being telling. But we saw Green Hall. We
Mm-hmm.
got to see Green Hall,
Yeah.
and I'm sure I'll be posting a TikTok video of that. But it's like touching the door frame and like looking at the window where Willie would climb through, and touching the
Yeah.
door frame, and yeah, it was really really cool.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. HEB. I may be a little biased here, but I think HEB is a superior grocery store to anything I've ever seen before. So,
Okay, that's what we hear. We hear it's a whole experience. So
yeah,
we'll make our way in there at
a
some point.
lot of Floridians say it's Publix, and it's like, no, I think HEB's, as somebody that has been to both, I would say HEB's got Publix beat. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I think they don't have HEB over there, so I just don't think they know, right?
yeah.
Or do they have it in
Nope.
Florida?
Nope.
Okay.
HEB is tech
Yeah.
predominantly Texas. There might be some in like
Wow.
South Oklahoma or whatever, and but for the most part, all Texas.
Yeah, that's
So
super cool.
yeah.
So being just in these dance halls too here in Texas, it makes me want to like lean in and learn even more about like the two step
Hmm.
and I can do the basic one, but I want
Yeah.
to at one point like that would be a personal goal would be to like just learn a whole bunch of them and be able to go to a dance hall and do all the dances.
Yeah.
Like that would be really fun. Couple
If you
goals right there.
right, if you show up, they'll teach you. So
I love it. Okay,
that,
good.
that
And we in Nashville, we only have like two spots that
yeah.
really, or I mean, maybe if you stretch it, we could say four, but it's not like Texas. So it's it's really cool to be in a culture that is very much immersed around couples go out and they
Hmm.
dance and
Hmm.
they have their thing.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
Oh yeah. It used to be, there used to be a lot more dance halls, and then the pandemic kind of happened, and
Oh yeah,
yeah, that whole thing panned out.
yeah,
But the a lot of the legendary ones were able to kind of stick it out and figured out a way to make it work, and
yeah.
you know, so that's, I guess that's the important part, right?
Yes.
So
Well, in the spirit of getting on here
mm,
and about pancreatic cancer, I feel like it's just on my heart to kind of share a little bit about my grandpa.
hmm,
I mentioned him earlier,
yeah,
but I'm feeling it bubble up. So he would watch the on TV. He would put on Country Now,
hmm,
right, and like now artists, and he'd be like Lauren Alina or so, and he'd be like, Kirstie, Kirstie, come over here, and I'm like, yes, what, like what, and he'd be like, why don't you put your music up there? And I was like, we're working on it. Like, but he was so cute. He'd be like, you need to get your music up there. It's now country, like and I think, he didn't realize how it all works like behind the
hmm,
scenes, but he was super supportive and all of the honky tonks in the bars that obviously the other shows in outdoors, like during the day he would come
hmm,
to, but he would come to the bars and he would stay till till the end of the
yeah,
show. He would stay the entire time. He would bring my grandma, and even my aunts and uncles would come out. But he always knew when my schedule was, when I was playing, and he would show up. And if I
yes,
was in the northern part of the state or somewhere, he would call his sister or cousin to tell so and so that I'm performing and that they need to come out to my show. Like it was like a just word of mouth situation on
yeah,
the phone. And so yeah, he was really really special to me and still is. Like I'm just thankful I had a lot of years and good memories with
mm,
him, but he was always just really really supportive, and I just like to think that yeah, he's up there like just watching me check off these boxes
right,
as I go. And I do hope I get to be on Country Now just to like just for that
right.
reason, like just for
That's
him. Yeah.
that's amazing. I that is such a really cool story. You and your grandpa kind of had that connection, and you know, my mother was just finally starting to understand what the mission was of Live and Amplified as she
Mhm.
was kind of passing. And, you know, the last 3 months, while yes, it was very hard, it was also very nice because she finally like really understood what this mission was. So yeah.
Yeah. It is
Eh,
I I honestly like the relationship was really special, but towards the end, I feel like knowing that there was a time stamp
mhm,
that we had to like face with pancreatic cancer, it was difficult for me
mm,
to be around him because I wanted to cry every time,
mm,
like because
yeah.
I didn't want him to go. So I almost was doing like the avoidant a little bit, and I kicked myself like, I think I was just worried about I'm a crier, so I was just worried
Mm,
about I was just gonna cry all the
yeah.
time. But yeah, it sounds like you have good memories too. So
Yeah.
that's the part that you hold on to for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, I put myself in a situation where I couldn't do that because I knew if I'd given myself the opportunity to kind of avoid the entire situation, I
Right.
100% would have. Like, it would have just been talking to her on the phone, and that would have been it. And just tried to pretend like it wasn't happening. And then as my dad, like when she first got diagnosed, my dad they were actually in the Florida Keys when it happened. Um,
Okay.
and they were getting ready to leave on a big trip. And my dad called me. He was like, "Hey, this is going on. There's a lot of real serious stuff, that we need to talk about man to man or whatever. But I need you to come to Florida and look after your mom." Because I'd already known about the pancreatic cancer diagnosis at that
Okay.
point, but I didn't know like really how serious it was.
Right.
Um, and so he called me, told me to come down to Florida, and it was, helping him kind of get his life rearranged because they were getting ready to go on a year-long trip. Like, they were going to be on the road for a year.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
so they kind of had to get their life together for however long it was going to be afterwards. And um, then, like, 2 weeks later, he was like, "I need you to come live with us. Like, we need to figure it out at work. We need to, whatever we can do." And
Yeah. That's really special that, you're close with your family and your
mhm,
parents, that they can call you and ask that, because it is something that just kind of takes a turn really
mhm,
quickly,
it is.
it goes south, and you just have to be, I mean, you can prepare for it, but you
Mm,
can't, like,
yeah.
and um yeah, so that's cool
Yeah.
you're able to be with them.
Yeah. And even though you have that timeline and everything seems very gradual, there was that one morning where the night before she was 100% fine and like talking and all this stuff. And then the next morning she was immobile, couldn't move. And just like
Yeah.
it was like overnight it happened. So,
Yeah. I remember my grandpa being in hospice at their house, and
mhm,
we all were there, and my family was encouraging me to sing, because he was still having like responses. And
mhm,
so I sang like Amazing Grace, and I sang my song Thirsty, and he was moving a bunch and he was smiling, and yeah, I got to just tell him I loved him then, and I was just singing for him. But I remember that being really hard. And then they asked me to sing Amazing Grace at his funeral, and I was
mhm.
like, how does one do that? Oh my goodness, I need to like keep it together. Um, but yeah, those it's just he definitely took time to make sure to tell us how much he loved all of us. Like,
Mhm.
said that numerous times. And he didn't need to say that, because we by the way he treated us and how he was when he was alive, like, we knew. We just already knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Sorry, it makes me emotional talking about him.
No, you're 100% fine. I'm glad you kind of jumped into it because I was trying to figure out a way to kind of bring it back up, and
Yeah.
you
That's
know,
why when
eh,
you reached out to me, I was like, yes, I would absolutely love to speak with
mm,
you about
mhm.
this and just be a part of it. So thanks for asking me.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're in Texas for another week or so. What's kind of the plans for the rest of the year? I know you'd mentioned working on music and all that fun stuff, but are like once Thanksgiving ends, are you doing more shows around Nashville, or what's kind of the
Yeah.
plan?
That's a good question. I actually just looked at this schedule, and it's Texas, then Memphis,
Nice,
then Nashville, then Alabama, then Florida, then Wisconsin, then Nashville, and I will celebrate New Year's in Nashville this year. So,
nice.
um, yeah, I'm really excited. I'll be going to Memphis just for fun. No
Mm,
shows. I'm going to take in the culture. I'm going to take in the blues culture. I was listening to Elvis today in the car.
nice.
I'm just going to essentially explore Memphis and for 2 days. And I'll be
Nice.
in Nashville again. I'll go to Alabama for the Iron Bowl, and I'm really excited about that. And we have shows in Florida at the top of December, and I will be hosting my Christmas party and going home to Wisconsin. So I do this annual Kirstie's Thirsties Christmas party,
Nice.
and just a lot of times it's like the 30 some of us, like OGs and
Hmm.
family, and I invite them. I'll share like new songs. We'll just kind of like celebrate the year,
Yeah.
and I'll talk a little bit, I'll sing a little bit. It's kind of very very like freestyle because it's my
Yeah.
party, so I can pretty much do whatever I want, but I love it. Like, the owner of the place that we're going to be at, his mom is going to cook
Nice.
like a nice home cooked meal, and so just by donation you can come eat, and it's going to be that setup. Lots of apple pie shots because that's
Nice.
very native to Wisconsin. And
Nice.
he asked me if I wanted anything specific to drink at this party, and I was like, apple pie shots. You need those.
Nice. Oh yeah,
We need to be
100%.
doing those because we'll celebrate, something, and then we'll raise a toast, and then we'll
Yeah.
celebrate something, and it's very much in just like dive bar,
Mm,
but family feel, and I'm excited to host at a place like that. And yeah, then I'll be in Nashville for New Year's. And so while doing that, we're going to be celebrating the the parody song
mhm.
for Christmas, and then working on Largo and working on just the social media around that. I'm definitely in full swing booking for 2025 and 2026. So that's been October's kind of a very
Right.
specific month for that. So I've just been continuing that into the rest of the year, just booking shows. So
Yeah,
any idea, more ideas in Texas, you feel free to message me and we will come back.
for
Sounds
sure.
like next year in September, maybe.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's September will be. Ooh, September will still be hot out, so be ready for that one.
I'm here for. I have shorts on right now, so
Yeah.
I'm so here for that. Like, I like the warm weather. I
Hmm.
obviously go to the Keys a lot.
Yeah.
We'll be in the Keys like right after, again right
Mm,
after the year. So yeah, I like it hot.
nice. Fair. 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 Oh, but I really appreciate you sitting down and chatting with us. It's always a pleasure. If anybody wants to check out your music, all that fun stuff, where's the best place to find you?
Yeah, you can go to KirstieKraus.com. If you have an Instagram, a YouTube, Facebook, all those things. I'm doing TikTok as well.
Nice.
But yeah, KirstieKraus.com on the website will get you to all those links as well.
Nice. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time. It's been absolutely amazing. Well, I can't wait to connect in February, I guess, at CRS.
Yes, that'll be fun. Thank you so much for inviting me to do this. And it's great to chat with you, Tom. Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. Once again, thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll be back here in a little bit with our next guest.